Hi everybody, this is Andrew here at PressBox Stats. In this video, we're going to go through how you can score a game offline and make sure that game gets synced back to the internet whenever you are done. Now, you can score the entire game online if you'd like. You can score the game offline the entire time if you'd like. Or what most people do is they might start scoring the game online, and then if that lag between plays gets a little bit longer later in the game, they can go ahead and switch to offline and finish the game and then sync it back when they're done. Now, in future versions, this won't be necessary as we're going to be changing some of the things to improve the lag between plays and how we sync to the internet. But for now, this is a very helpful video. So right now, my device here is online, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new game. And my game is going to be a non-conference game. It's going to be against Novi, Michigan. I'm going to hit save. And now one thing that's important to note, the very last game here is the one I just created, is if you're ever going to score a game offline, it's very important to make sure that your device goes through the syncing data message. And what I'll show you that here in a second. So I force close the application entirely. I'm going to reopen it up. And at the top you see where it says syncing data. So this syncing data message is basically downloading game data, downloading opponent rosters, and various items like that to my local device. So if I were needed to go offline, I would have all that information. If you created a game, did not do syncing data, and went to score it and went offline, you try entering plays, you either wouldn't see opponent rosters or the play just would not save at all. So it's important that anytime you want to score a game offline, you see that syncing data message finish first before you go score a game offline. So now that that's finished, I'm going to go back into Top Gun, and I am currently online, so I'm going to start scoring this game online. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple plays here. Let's do a kickoff down here. We're going to do a little bit of a return. There's a play there. We're going to do, again, just very, very quickly here, going to try to go through a couple plays. And let's go ahead and do a score. Number 12 is going to pass it to number 5 for a touchdown. That drive took 1 minute. Kicker's number 2 and good. So right now you'll see the score is going to be 7-0 Novi. So I'm going to go ahead and take my device offline here. And when I do that, I'm going to have to pause the recording and finish scoring the game. Then I'll come back on that way because I cannot share my screen from my device here when I'm offline. So I'm going to go ahead and go offline, but I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and back out of the game. You wouldn't have to do this. I'm just going to back out of the game to right here. And on my device, which is an iPad, I'm going to drag in the top. It's very similar to my Android as well. You see the little airplane. I'm basically going to go into airplane mode. And when I go into airplane mode, it's going to disconnect me from any internet, whether that's mobile service or a Wi-Fi connection. And then, so now once I do that, you should have lost connection from this device on the recording here because there's no internet. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go and pause this recording. I'm going to finish scoring this game and come back online and show you how to finish this process. All right, so now I have finished scoring that game offline on my device. And what I did was I finished the game on my device offline and closed out of the app on my device and I turned on the internet, but I have not synced the game yet. So what you'll see here is I am going to show you the game cast, which is it was just 7-0 when I went offline. So currently the game is still 7-0. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my device over here on my iPad. Let's see if I can switch over here. I'm going to start sharing my iPad. Okay, so now you can see my iPad over here. So I have not done anything yet on my iPad in terms of the game. So I have my internet on. I'm going to go ahead and open up PressBox Stats. And I'm going to hit start. And you'll see the syncing data message here. So in the bottom right, there's also a button for update data. But sometimes this isn't necessary unless you're going to go back online and continue scoring the game online. So if you scored it offline, you want to sync the data and then continue scoring online, that's when you use the button in the bottom right. You're still welcome to use the button in the bottom right, but for now, I'm just going to allow the syncing data message at the top to finish. And notice it's taken a little bit longer than earlier because there are some plays to save. So that is now finished. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go over into my Top Gun game. It's still 7-0 there, but if I drag down my screen to refresh and I go back down, you see it still says 7-0. But if I open the game, once I open the game online, it's going to see the score is now 17-10. So that score is 17-10. And just by opening that game back up when I'm online, that is what also finished the sync. It did something similar to what the update data button will do. So now I'm going to go ahead and go show you back to my laptop here. And just to show that this is now good to go. Go over here, share my screen. So now if you see my laptop screen, you should see that the score net is now 17-10. The score is final, and the scoring summary is there. All the stats are there and everything. So you are good to go. So again, whenever you are dealing with games offline, make sure that you do your sync data first before you get into the game, whether you're doing online or offline. And that way, if you ever do go offline for that game, you'll be able to continue scoring. And then once that game is done, make sure you go turn your internet back on, allow that syncing data message to finish, and then open the game when you're online, and that'll allow it to finish syncing, or you can do the update data message. So I hope this is helpful. And again, in future versions, this should not be necessary as it will be handled much more smoothly in the back end. But for now, hopefully this is something that can get you going. Thanks.